Yes. Hello there, only One Kenobi here, only one. Lots going on, isn't there, in the 3 3/4 inch world? And this is episode 25 of Only One Fans. The latest news is this thing here, which I've found a new place for it right underneath the barge, and I'm really loving where I've got it there. Just for space's sake, I didn't actually know if it would fit on the shelf or not. When I bought it and stuff, I originally thought it was going to go where that 3D printed spider is there. Forgot the name of those spiders. I can put it on the screen. But it's actually all right here. And a lot of people have said, oh no, you need to have it on the top surface. I'll do whatever I bloody well like. Piss off, Ross. Piss off, Ross. I'll do whatever I like, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that it would look pretty cool here. But it did look cool here when I reviewed it. But here's another thing though as well. It looks really good when lit from above. Now, I like to review stuff and film everything in natural light. I mean, right now, you can't beat it, can you? Natural sunlight looks awesome. But when I was in here and I did a little video for my Patreons and channel members, I was just filming in here randomly. If you want to become a channel member, check it out. Or a Patreon member. Lots of extra bonus footage is available and you can get access to that. I mean, that wasn't anything special. I was just in here randomly filming. But it was really good. When I had that main light on up here, you could see how cool it looked shining through the top piece of this. I mean, what I like about this anyway is the fact that this is a glass table. I can now see, obviously, underneath the barge, or I always could see under the barge, which is nice. But there's enough light just to seep through, even though it's casting the barge's shadow, just to give it that interior look. You know what I mean? You don't want it too bright, do you? Am I right? And then, who is to stop me from putting an LED or something above it, shining a bit of light down? Exciting times, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see right there, I've got Boba and I've got Fett. Bruh. She's still on the right, ladies and gentlemen. As you've rightly told me, she should be on the left-hand side. I'll sort that out later. But anyway, that's one bit of news. The other bit of news, if I film over here to the old Razor Crest there, is the whole business of the ghost. And this will be worth me doing a separate video talking about it, but it has kind of stopped or plateaued. And I'm not surprised because I'm really pleased it backed. And that is because myself and many people have wanted to back it. But I know a ton of people who have said, looks great, not going to back it. Rebels, not my cup of tea. And so many different excuses for not backing this thing. I'm surprised it even has backed, if you compare it to other projects. So that just goes to prove the power of this thing. I backed it because I love big vehicles. And if you do like BVs and you like a good design, like the Ghost is a good design, regardless of your feelings of animated projects, you're going to back it. 500, we've all paid a lot of money on the secondary market prices. And yes, it is a lot of money, but this cost 400. You know what I mean? That cost 400, man. That was first market prices. I know that's a scandalous amount, but there's inflation and there's the fact that they're pushing the prices, yes, but I tell you what, compared to some of the crazy market, some people out there want 800 for that, more or less, except the one with the glass turrets on, 800. Some people have jacked up prices of certain items like for example, that TVC Republic gunship, man, you know, it was always expensive, but, you know, people take liberties here and there and they bop it up. It's a crazy market sometimes. But anyway, that's all the main news. Jabba the Hutt's palace is out, or Boba Fett's. But that can be transferable. The other idea I had was, if I very carefully take this out, because I don't want all the accessories on there to get disturbed, and here's my other plan for this, right? I'm thinking, because that does look good just on its own, if I have that on a shelf, any one of these, I still haven't sorted out where my Mandalorian stuff is, but when I do, I might just have that Boba on his throne, just like I've got that Jabba there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Jabba and all my entourage of Jabba on this shelf here. We'll get rid of that X-Wing, though I love that X-Wing. Hate that film, but I like that X-Wing. I will get all my Jabba's denizens and all of that lot on here, right under the barge, man. That's my plan. What do you think of that? You like that idea? That's what I'm going to do. And that looks pretty cool, and it's just like one snapshot in time, although they do look really good inside that piece. I think because it's such a nice open space, it would be rude not to put more figures in there, wouldn't it, really? They look so nice like that. I'm thinking of just getting them on their own shelf, around about my Mandalorian sort of area. This was supposed to be a Mandalorian section here, but it's actually going to become probably a Clone Wars section because of that amazing thing there. You see, I set up the Navarro Cantina there, and a few other things. I've got the forge there. That's a custom from Lao of Black Chrysanthemum there. So that's that. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a roundup. Any more news? No, other than great times, great year so far. Thank you, Hasbro. Loving all this stuff here. And that is that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 25 of Only One Fans. I hope you enjoy it. And let's bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. You should have seen in the thumbnail what is in today's show, more or less. The main items, the Starspeeder, Maris Brood. So, without any further ado, welcome. Let's bring it on.
Put my fingers
I've wanted to open this figure for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Maris Brood. I've had this for ages. And now's the time. I was going to do like a combined video opening Expanded Universe stuff. I was going to start with Kyle Katarn there, Maris, and then, in chronological order, then Shay Vizsla would be next. But I'm going to do a separate video on Shay. A figure that has fallen from grace with regards value and quantity, but has improved with quality. So, interesting topic that. So I'm going to make that a separate video. Kyle Katarn, we'll save him for another thing in the future. But for now, Maris Brood. And I've seen the cutscenes of The Force Unleashed. Really good. It's like a good movie in itself. This is a Padawan who escaped Order 66. Well, isn't that always the case with these rogues, be them light or dark side users? And I've opened him before on an episode of Only One Fans. So I like to open good figures on this show, you know what I mean? This is a good figure. Will they ever bring her out again in a Gaming Greats? Well, they've got one Force Unleashed card back. They should really try and do more. They might even try and redo Juno Eclipse, given they're going to do this new officer sculpt, and no doubt they're going to be doing that one from Andor. But yeah, she looks good, doesn't she? Let's get her open. You do get a stand though. Look at that Maris Brood stand. Very good. I just like Sith. I like dark side users, red saber users, double saber like Ventress. And if I go over here in this room, see that column there? If you're new to my channel, they're all Sith. I wouldn't probably put Maris there because they're all actual Sith Lords. If you are a dark side user, you're not necessarily a Sith. That's an order of the Sith, but she does fit that. She does look the part, doesn't she? She wears the trappings of the Sith. She fights like the Sith, but these can be imitated, however. You lack one quality that all Sith have. Sith have no fear, and I sense much fear in you. I love that script from Dooku. I'm gonna get the Maris stand out later, just for sake of ease. I'll see what she's like with one of these modern stands. And let's have a look at her articulation. Look, yeah, ball joints. And yeah, good, that's what we want to see, ball joints. So she's got the same level as Revan has. Malik, in the 30th anniversary collection, suffers because Malik has swivel joints. But this girl here, she's got a swivel there on the wrist, but she's got ball joints, which makes her good. Wow, look at these lightsabers. She's awesome. I like that a lot. Just going to get her in a pose for you and then move on. Peg holes are not massively deep, but they are actually competitive with some of the ones that they make nowadays. And she is female, don't forget, so she's got littler feet. Maybe. Yeah, she's cool, man. Look at her. She's a bit like Ventress meets, I don't know, man. It's another character I can't think of. She's got like that quality of, say, Ula. She's got like, got a little bit of heat going on there, man. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, like Aura Singh I'm thinking of there. And Aura Singh was a bounty hunter. And when I think of Aura Singh, I think of one of these girls here. One of them's fallen over. Yeah, the Twi'lek has, but you know what I mean? Humanoid, light skin. But she obviously, wow, she's really interesting, isn't she? Just got her in that pose for now. Interesting lightsabers as well. I can't remember if she puts them together or not, or they're separate. But with that little handle there, it's good to get this in your collection if you want a little bit of alternative saber use, you know what I mean? It's always nice when you see somebody with a little bit of a different take on their lightsaber. Like Ventress in a way, the fact that she uses two, and this one different hilt completely. Interesting, I like that. Really good. So we'll leave that one there. And as I say, with regards expanded universe, more to come. I want to talk about Shae Vizsla and also Get It Open, man. I've got the original one as well. What I want to talk about is the value of Shae Vizsla. She has fallen from grace, man. And that figure is nowhere near as good as this one here, so I'm glad I can finally open this, but that is now going for less than I paid for it in 2017, man. Very interesting topic. So I'll leave that for an episode of The Sale Barge, SALE, my financial analysis and value market video sector, if you want to call it. I haven't done many videos like that for a while, but I do like to occasionally do it. Right, we're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. So, for one voice this week, for this episode of Only One Fans, for the 25th, as you know, in Only One Fans, I like to receive voice messages, and I thought I would reach out for one specific question or information you could give me. And I asked, how did you find my channel and how long have you been watching? Purely, for a bit of fun and also for my own interest, because I wanted to hear what sort of things people said. Because, when I think of the channels I watch, some of them are not even Star Wars related. A lot of them are not Star Wars related, believe it or not, but I always can remember the first video I saw on that channel that got me into them. So I wanted to know what people said about my channel. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, only 2 people got back about it. Well, 3. Stuart Norris told me as well, but he actually had a question, which I'm going to answer later. And also, Stuart, you've already received a couple of patches from me, so I won't be sending you a patch, Stuart. Unless you want another one, let me know and I can send you another. But 2 people have got back, and do you know what? Those 2 people are going to win an Only One Kenobi patch. Congratulations. And I'm going to let those people speak now, and while they're speaking, I'll just pan this camera around the room. Let's look at some vehicles or something.
Hey Obi-Wan, this is Force Designs here, and I've been watching you since, I would say, the pandemic, and I would say that maybe one of my first episodes of watching you on YouTube has to be probably to do with the first ever Mandalorian releases for the vintage collection. Keep up the good work. Thank you, and goodbye.
What's up, sir? Just answering the question you posted. I think it was around 2020, maybe 2021. Anyway, I just moved into a new apartment. I'd found my Star Wars figures. I'd looked at them for the first time in many years. I spotted that my Greedo had a tan vest, and I was like, On a whim, I painted it orange, and then I got really excited about making little tweaks to make my old toys more screen accurate. Did a YouTube search for action figure hacks, and your figure hacks video showed up. And then that afternoon, I discovered they were still making 3.75 action figures. I'd incorrectly assumed it was only 6-inch now, and so yeah, I guess it's kind of your fault that you pulled me back into this collecting world. I guess I should tell my wife that. Maybe she'll stop asking me why all these little boxes keep showing up at the front door. Anyway, thanks, friend.
Hello Nick, Stu here. Just to say, I started watching your channel back in 2020. Been following you ever since. Loving the content. Loved watching your channel grow. Awesome stuff. Really happy for you. Congratulations on 25 episodes of Only One Fans. And just a quick question. What is the thing that you are looking forward to the most while on your holiday in Florida?
Yeah. Very difficult question, Stuart. There's so much I am looking forward to in Florida. I could really narrow it down and help answer this question by saying, what am I looking forward to Star Wars related? But before I answer that, I will go through a few other things. Going on Tron, I can't wait to do that. Just going back to Walt Disney World and then checking out Riverside, Port Orleans, man. Because I've been to French Quarter and I loved it, but this Riverside looks awesome. And going to the Polynesian again, exploring Fort Wilderness. I've never done that before. I'm going to do that this time. So much stuff, man. There's a big fat list of stuff I can't wait to do. But why am I filming the Falcon here? It's because I can't wait to go to Galaxy's Edge. I can't wait to just experience that, you know. I'm sure it'll be amazing because I saw Pandora 4 years ago. That was great. And I know how good they are. I mean, they don't get everything right. They've just shut a hotel for sake. You know what I mean? And Disney, oh God, there's some things that are going absolutely pear-shaped and they need to watch it because they'll be sinking that ship. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But some things they do really right, and I can imagine Galaxy's Edge will be amazing. I don't even care that it's sequel-based because I can forgive an aspect of that. Force Awakens was alright. It's tainted now, but I still loved it when I first saw it. And things like Rise of the Resistance and all of that is pretty much, to me, in my eyes, it's like The Force Awakens the ride, you know what I mean? So I can get on with that, but just to walk in and experience the sights and sounds of Galaxy's Edge, as a Star Wars fan, I'm sure it would blow even Daniel Chart's mind. Although he might have something to say about that. But yeah, Stuart, can't wait, man. Really excited. Thank you for your question. Boom. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this episode with a few other comments that I received. These were from Instagram. The first one was from Des T, who was kind of responding to the public post I did on the community page of this YouTube channel, where I was trying to reach out for people to send voice notes in for this episode if you wanted to win a patch. And Des has written this, and you are not winning a patch, Des, not with this, man. You need to send me a voice note, man. I'm only joking, but he did get back, so thank you, Des. He said, "Hey there, only One Kenobi, or O.O.K. You don't need to hear my dulcet tones." Yes, we do, Des. We would have loved to hear your voice. That's probably why people don't always send voice messages. And by the way, for next week's episode, if you do want to send a voice message in, the topic will be normal, just any questions or comments you have. No specific theme, as I tried this week. But anyway, any questions you want to send in, do so on Instagram or Facebook Messenger at Only One Kenobi. But anyway, he has said this: "I'm not too sure when I started watching your excellent work. It must be roughly 3 years ago, with me liking and maybe the odd comments about 2 years ago. I think I stumbled across you and other channels via Usual Mike. It's all his fault. How about that? You know, Usual Mike is the linchpin that holds this house of cards together. He really is the backbone of everything going on within the community. It is, man. He is the governor. He's the Australian governor in the future down under. How about that, man? What a revelation. And this is the thing, it's cool, man, to hear how people find us. And then this was a comment from Lau, good man Lau. He said, "How are you liking your Jabba's Palace? Just watched your video. I'm a bit disappointed in the overall paint application and weathering. It definitely needs some more ink and paint work to complete it, but the overall design and little pieces look great." And I agree with that, Lau. Got no room for one personally, but might keep my eye on eBay for a cheapo one to repaint in the future. Man, Lau, just get one now, man. Well, it's budget depending, isn't it? But Lau is a customizer, so he's obviously, very clued up in this game. So are people like, Daniel Chart, Solo Shot First. They, make loads of dioramas and stuff like that. There's other people in the community who do stuff like that. But personally, I loved it. Check out my video, though, if you haven't. My first reaction, or one of the first things I said, was that I thought it looked quite light. In fact, for my taste, I would have weathered it like you've just said, Lau. Added more grime, dirt, whatever that wash is they put over stuff, like they did the Falcon, the Razor Crest, Blue Leader's X-Wing, Slave One. Loads and loads of vehicles that have been in the TVC have had that beautiful wash. And I think this could have maybe gone a shade darker if they'd applied that. But having said that, when I did put it together, I liked it. Because ultimately, in darker lighting, it'll go dark anyway, if that makes sense. Although most of our collection rooms are light. But no, seriously, I agree with you. I think it should have been potentially darker. But overall, I quite like the fact it's bright and it catches your eye, and then the darker elements you add, like your figures and your whatnots. But still, there you are. Thank you for that comment, Lau. Opinion respected and received and shared. And then there was another comment related to the Jabba's palace and all the goings on there. It's Owen Brown. He said, I wonder if the price of the SOTDS, that's the Shadows of the Dark Side, if you're not sure, Jabba, will come down now that the TVC one is coming out. I'm sorry, I've not read that exactly as he's written it, but yeah, that's the point he's trying to ask. I personally prefer the Shadow one. Now, I did also a comparison video recently. Most of you will have seen that as well. But the interesting thing is that when I did open the Boba Fett's throne, you couldn't fit in the dais or the slab for the Shadows of the Dark Side Jabba into that playset. Which is whatever, it doesn't make any difference really, because, well, it does make a difference actually. If you are somebody who owns that and wants to slide it in, you can't. But then again, if you have bought the new Boba Fett's throne, you get a new dais anyway, and you can put your Jabba on top of that. Or if you want to invest in the upcoming Jabba pack, the throne room pack, whatever you want to call that, where you get a brand new Jabba's figure, albeit it is a repaint or an updated version of the one that came in the barge, you get another one with that, another dais, a rolling slab thing that he sits on. So there you are. But it's interesting to hear people's opinions about the Shadows of the Dark Side line version. I'm talking about the figure here of Jabba versus the other one. They're both very good Jabbas, as I did cover in that video, but it's all good. Anyway, I think that really does about wrap it up for this week. Thank you very much for the people who have contributed and left comments. And overall, even if it's not been for this episode, if you drop a comment and you are a regular viewer of the channel, thank you. Much respect to you, and your support is, as ever, appreciated. Thank you for watching this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Do hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you are new. Tap the notification bell. You can stick it when you click it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm nicking the WDW Pro catchphrase there because I love it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I have been only One Kenobi. You are my one and Obies, the only one fans. Ta-ta for now.